Another week of fantasy football, man. 8 weeks through, it's just getting real.
Yeah, halfway through, and we had a lot of bad injuries this week. A lot of teams feeling it, especially with the news that dropped today. Jamar Chase about to go
Four to
on the
six.
IR
Yeah,
out of nowhere. I was making trade offers for Jamar Chase this morning.
that guy should have taken it if he had the inside
Yeah,
scoop.
definitely,
Got
definitely.
Jamar Chase injured. You got Kadarius Toney headed to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Not sure what that means. Could mean a lot. It adds another, I guess, possible weapon
It's a
to the
downfield
Chiefs.
threat. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen the Chiefs be able to get the ball in guys' hands, which we saw Mecole Hardman score 3 touchdowns. It's just how the Chiefs' offense is. So a guy like Kadarius Toney fits in well.
Hopefully not too well, because I love the emergence of Juju Smith-Schuster right now. Juju has kind of established himself to be the number two target behind Travis Kelce.
Of course.
But the number one receiver it appears to be Juju. Your boy MBS finally caught 2 bombs for you last week, so that was nice. That Chiefs offense is kind of finding its footing, I feel like now. They're getting
Yeah. And they're on the bye this week, so going to be scary when they come out of the bye. Hopefully healthy, rested, and with a bunch of new offensive plays to wow everyone.
And besides the Jamar Chase injury, like you said, came out of nowhere. We lost the rookie of the year.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, man, down and done. ACL. He's out for the rest of the season. They go and get James Robinson. They trade for him right away. Not sure, what kind of wrinkle that adds into the offense. But if you're a Michael Carter owner, you have to be a little nervous about bringing in a guy like James Robinson, a former 1,000-yard rusher.
Well, I think most people are looking at it the other way. Like if you're an ETN owner, finally, like this happened, and it's go time for Travis Etienne season. So Michael Carter, James Robinson. I think Michael Carter probably to start, and then James Robinson once he finds his footing. They're going to split carries. It's going to be tough to decipher that backfield.
I do want to talk about. We also need to talk about Matt Ryan, future Hall of Famer, bench for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I saw today. It was like he was the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts for 28 weeks and 3 days. Like he just cannot escape 28-3. Wherever he goes, Matt Ryan 28-3.
That's too soon.
And then Sam Ehlinger, Texas is back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means. The last 2 weeks, Paris Campbell has finally come around with Matt Ryan. Now you got a whole new quarterback change. Obviously, the offense hasn't been great, but now if you're an owner of any of those receivers, Campbell and Michael Pittman, you definitely have to wonder what you're going to get with Sam Ehlinger under center.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at picking up Campbell, but with the quarterback change, you don't really know how the offense is going to function. We kind of saw it with Heineke. We know Heineke likes to get the ball to McLaurin, but he was also feeding Curtis Samuel too. They had a good win against the Packers.
Yeah, I was happy to be wrong about that one as a Curtis Samuel owner. I wasn't sure how many targets he'd get, but like you said, Heineke kind of spread the ball around and even got your boy Antonio Gibson into the end zone with the receiving touchdown. So maybe this could be like the year of the backup quarterbacks. PJ Walker appears that he's going to be the starter in Carolina even when Sam Darnold comes back, it sounds like as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I do want to touch on one game, 2 injuries, stud receivers. We lost Mike Williams, and then DK Metcalf. I don't know. He's trying to play.
He's a soldier.
I don't know if he's gonna practice, but like everyone else, like Zeke might be out, Josh Jacobs could be out, Debo could be out. All these guys, like on fantasy, it's 0 points. DK still got his projected, 12, 13 points, whatever, because like he wants to play.
DK tried to practice today, and they had to keep him off the field. I mean, the guy's a straight animal. He has a partial tear tendon in his knee, but he's still trying to suit up in practice today. You gotta love what he brings to the team, but as I was saying off air, he's someone you got to protect from himself. It's a long career you got, and if you're Seattle, we got hopes way past this season, so we don't need to mess up anything right now. Slow down DK, and hopefully, I mean not hopefully, but I hope that he doesn't play this week. Just give the knee a little bit of rest. But Mike Williams, like you said, gigantic injury.
Yeah, really bad. They got the bye this week. Keenan Allen healthy. I think he played like a third
Only the
of the
first
snaps.
half. Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Palmer, though, that stock is going way up. and DeAndre Carter
DeAndre
too.
Carter.
I mean, Mike Williams is gonna be out for a while.
Gonna be a lot of Austin Eckler. A lot of Austin Eckler, even if it wasn't already. Somehow
And Gerald Everett too.
Somehow he'll get better.
I do like Gerald Everett. He had a nice game last week.
Yes. But like you said, Joshua Palmer is definitely the guy you want to eye. Also, got to touch on two big performances from kind of two running backs finding their footing. Of course, Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco. I mean, for not knowing the playbook and arriving the day before, not an awful fantasy day, 8 points. You're not mad about it. You expect, next week he'll have a way better production day, though.
Yeah, you're not benching him, right? Like, you can't have McCaffrey like on the bench and he scores 20 points. But they play the Rams this week. Should be good matchup. 49ers kind of have their number. With a full week of practice, got to think McCaffrey's gonna be the lead back, and I'm excited to see that offense for sure.
Sorry, Jeff Wilson owners, but yeah, I think he's headed back to the bench. Very curious on what this means for Eli Mitchell when he comes back. C-Mac is not really a guy that's going to.
I think he's on the bench too. Yeah, exactly. Like if you were, stashing Elijah Mitchell the whole year after he got hurt, and now he's coming back, you don't know what his role is going to be.
Yeah, so that's very dangerous. Feel free. I mean, I'm looking for trade options. If I'm an owner of Mr. Mitchell, but
you can't even trade Najee Harris.
It's so bad. But I gotta say, welcome back, Gus Edwards. What a way to make a splash this season. Missed all of last year. Missed the first 6 weeks this season. Had a fantastic week 7. Found the end zone a bunch, and I thought Gus played well. And hopefully he kind of takes over that Baltimore backfield. He's got a big game tonight against the Bucs.
Yeah, I think it's still just a mystery. Every week it could be someone different. We know it's going to be Lamar, and we know it's going to be Mark Andrews, and then after that, you're hoping one of your guys hits.
Well, let's get into the week of start and sit. We got some bye weeks, like you said, but just 2. You got the Chiefs, got the Chargers. But with the injuries on top of those 2 bye weeks, this is going to be a very interesting week. We start off, of course, tonight with the Ravens and the Bucs, so no need to do start and sit for those. But we got another London game this week. We got the Broncos playing against the London Jaguars.
I think it's the last one. The Jaguars win in London, so
they don't lose.
If you're the Broncos, you got to be a little worried about this game. You got Russell Wilson doing 4 hours of high knees on the plane while everyone's trying to sleep. So the Broncos are just really tough to figure out because their offense has no momentum. They've done nothing all year. That's a tough game.
Who you started from that Denver backfield? Melvin Gordon has not done much with his opportunity. You saw Latavius Murray found the end zone, and they must not love Mike Boone because they went out and got another running back this week in Marlon Mack.
Mike Boone got hurt.
Yeah.
So Mike Boone's out, and they did bring in Marlon Mack. I think it's Latavius Murray. I think that's the guy you want to have right now. As crazy as it is to say, as Leonard Fournette scores. Touchdown, Lenny.
Love TD Lenny. And for the Jags, Christian Kirk, I'm still loving that start. And I'm even liking the Trevor Lawrence start this week. Had a decent week previously. And, of course, Travis Etienne finally has the backfield to himself. Hopefully in London he erupts.
Yes, you gotta hope that's a big game. The Broncos defense is good. So they've been stout all year. And I don't think it's going to change against Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Defense travels, even to London.
Yeah. Absolutely.
1 p.m., man. We got the Dolphins coming down to D-Town to face the Detroit Lions. At once the best offense in football. Last 2 weeks they combined
6 points. 6 points. 2 field goals.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry about that Detroit Lions offense, and I'm very curious on who do you start. They can't stay healthy at receiver or running back.
Yeah, I think Chark's out for a while. You got Josh Reynolds, who's questionable right now. St. Brown's still questionable. I think he'll play. Swift's playing. It was pretty clear when he showed up at the Pistons game courtside, but I think he'll be back, which really gives the offense a boost.
Yeah.
And if you're, you got Swift on your fantasy team, that's big for you too, because like you said, a lot of buys, a lot of injuries. It's going to be a grinded out type of week.
Yeah, you got to play Hockenson at the tight end spot. Hasn't been fantastic by any means, but you really just got to do it. But, I mean, last week Jared Goff had negative fantasy points, so you would just hope that he can't do that again at home. For the Dolphins, this is a good old green light game. Tua looked very fantastic in his first day back. Raheem Mostert has taken complete control of that backfield as well.
Yeah, Raheem must start. I agree. And then Waddle, even Gesicki's played pretty well. I don't know if you're starting him if there was ever a game to do it. It's against the Lions. I think I'm starting Mostert this week, and then Chase Edmonds has been tough to start too, for sure. So I'd probably leave him on the bench.
Got the new look Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons. You got two teams who lost their starting running backs and kind of trying to figure out where do they go from here. I like what Foreman did last week, though, and DJ Moore found the end zone.
Yeah, PJ Walker was slinging it, so Panthers look better. Maybe it's something they can build off of. I think the Falcons are pretty good, but they got to get the ball to their 2 top 10 draft picks. I don't understand
what's going on with Kyle Pitts.
I know you want to run the ball. You don't have Patterson right now. Like, just get London and Pitts involved, please. Please, I'm begging you.
Especially Kyle Pitts. I mean, you drafted this guy like he was the next best thing.
And like he was prime Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, all combined into one.
A tight end that can play the slot, that can play out wide as a receiver. We thought we were about to get this handy tool tight end, and he has not been that. And I just don't think he's gotten the targets to be that. So I'm hoping this week at home against a Carolina team that's trying to find their identity, they can get Kyle Pitts involved. You love the start of Algier. I mean, you got to start the starting running back for the Falcons. He's actually been solid.
I guess like Huntley's been there too, though, right? So
like a fly.
I think if you're starting one, it's Algier.
Yeah,
for sure.
How about that Carolina backfield? Can you start both this week? They definitely split carries pretty fair, but I think it's Foreman's job to lose.
Yeah, I agree. I think Foreman's the start. Honestly, these are the type of void games you get though, where it could be just ugly, muck it up. They could have like a nasty 34-28 game where it's just turnover after turnover, like maybe a kick return. I feel like we haven't had a good kick return yet this year, or even any kick return touchdown.
I think Duvernay might have started one off early in the season.
Was it I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think it was a kick return early in the year, like maybe even week 1 or 2. But since then, you're right. We haven't had a ton of special team returns. That Cardinals-Vikings game, this is a good game.
Yeah, this should be a must-start, everyone type of game.
Hopefully James Conner's back. He's been questionable the last 2 weeks. If he's able to come back, I think he's the start. But if not, Eno has filled in very well last week. He had a very good game. And, of course, you're starting Nuke. And
probably Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Rondale Moore maybe in this game? Maybe.
I was going to say, how about the Rondale Moore question? He really hasn't.
I'm so thin. I have him in like 3 leagues, and I'm so thin that like I'm playing him, I think, in at least 2. For sure 1. So we'll see. Hopkins is definitely the receiver to have, and then I think Ertz is the next best option. We'll see if Kyler's got his mojo back, and then the Vikings, Jefferson, Thielen, Cook, the boys. I don't know if you're reaching anywhere outside of that, and then obviously you can play Kirk.
You're hoping Cook just finally has that I'm still the top 3 running back in the league game. He's
after the bye.
Yeah, after the bye week. He's been good he hasn't been bad by any means, but he hasn't been, Mr. Dalvin Cook, who, I mean, debatably is still the best running back in football. He's just he's been hiding, doing his thing.
Yeah, now let's take it to who right now may be the best running back in football, Raiders Saints. Josh Jacobs. Oh, my Lord. This guy is on fire.
I'm so happy I drafted him as like my 3rd running back, and now I look like a genius. Before this, it's insane to me at training camp and preseason. They rushed this guy nonstop in the preseason. They were talking about trade talks, and he's just made them eat those words. They declined the 5th-year option. I think they'll be signed to him this season.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's electric right now. He's running angry. He's running like a man on a mission. And then
he's the best player on the Raiders right now, to be honest.
Yeah. It still might be Devontae Adams. Or Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan, shout out. Because he's been on fire too. Same with Judon, I mean, he had a big Monday night. I know he didn't talk about that Monday night. Bears. kind of like beating on the Patriots, but Judon had a big game still.
Yeah, no, for the Raiders, you definitely got to start Josh Jacobs. That's a must start. You got to start Devontae Adams, and I'm not, even though Hollins has looked better than Hunter Renfrow, I'm not starting either of those two receivers yet.
I agree. You probably start Waller if he plays, just because that's the tight end position this year.
Yeah. How about the Saints? That's an interesting one because Andy's been slinging the ball.
He's playing again. I mean, Kamara's got to just find the end zone.
Yeah, he hates it right now. He's not a big end zone guy. Chris Olave's the one receiver in New Orleans that you love. Michael Thomas probably not going to play this week if I had to guess. And you don't like any of the other receivers for New Orleans. You know, Callaway and Traquan Smith have not really stepped into that second row by any means. Watch out for the tight ends, though, for New Orleans. Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson, for some reason, just love fantasy.
Yeah. And Adam Troutman will score every now and then.
The tight ends there, the tight ends just love fantasy. Like, I think Juwan Johnson had 2 catches for like 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
It's wild.
One of the worst offenses in football. I got the Bears at the Cowboys.
Could get ugly.
That could get bad. You got to start Devin Montgomery, I think. Right?
I don't know, man.
Maybe
the Cowboys are looking good. The Bears do have the one thing that can kind of like offset the Cowboys a little bit, which is a running quarterback. Fields look good against what we think is a really good Patriots defense, right?
Yeah.
So I think Fields is the X factor in this game. You probably still start Montgomery because he's getting the goal line carries and he's getting some reception work. You're not feeling as good as starting Herbert, but I think you feel good if you have Herbert on your bench.
Yeah, and obviously the receivers in Chicago aren't an option, but
maybe Mooney, maybe.
It's a tough week, but I'm not reaching that far. I mean,
because he's going to have Diggs on him, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long night, as it's been a long season for Darnell Mooney. But for the Cowboys, I think you like the boys here. I mean,
Zeke might be out, so it's a Tony Pollard game. And if we get a full Tony Pollard game, maybe he can do something big.
Yeah, I'm expecting a full Tony Pollard game because the receiving end he'll help you out with, running in he'll have a big game if Zeke does sit out. And Michael Gallup, hopefully he can rebound. You know, he's coming off the injury, still trying to find his place in the offense. Dak's just coming back. I think this week Michael Gallup has a chance to find the end zone. He's a possible flex start, I think.
Yeah, I got burned by him last week. Dropped the egg, but that was an ugly game. Like you said, Dak's coming back. He's still getting in the groove of it. Dalton Schultz definitely going up. Him and Dak have a great connection. So he's been solid with Dak under center.
Man, the Steelers, the Eagles, it's an interesting game because even while the Steelers haven't been good, they've made like opponents struggle as far as fantasy-wise go. You saw Tyreek Hill have a very tough time in Tyreek Hill world as far as fantasy goes. He didn't give you 25 or 35 fantasy points like you want. And now he goes to play, they got the Eagles offense here that we think could be one of the best offenses in football. You got to start Jalen Hurts. You got to start A.J. Brown, of course, Miles Sanders.
Devonta Smith.
You got to start those guys, but you can't be shocked if any of those guys struggle because it's the Steelers.
Yeah, I think the Steelers have difference makers at each level on defense. They got Cam Hayward up front and Minkah Fitzpatrick back deep. So those two really affect the game, and I think that's where offenses maybe tend to struggle. But yeah, like you said, you're still starting your Eagles because the best team in football right now for sure.
Yeah, and there's be a gigantic Jalen Hurts day. He'll probably have to run a lot. The way the Steelers will bring some pressure on him. So you gotta love that start, of course. With the Steelers, I'm curious. You're seeing a lot of George Pickens lately.
Yeah, him and Kenny Pickett, but is Pickett playing or is Mitch?
They haven't said yet, but I'm pretty sure Pickett will be the one to go, if healthy, of course. And if so, I think the receivers have a little bit of a boost. You love Freiermuth if he's able to suit up this week. He's also questionable at the moment. But I'm really curious on the Najee Harris. I feel like you have to play him because you drafted him so high, but he has not made you happy yet as a fantasy owner this season. No fault to his own, for the record.
Well, here you go. I got 4 running backs, and I can start 3. Josh Jacobs is a start. Got to think Dalvin Cook's a start.
Yep.
And then it's between Mostert, who's playing the Lions, and Najee against a really good Eagles defense.
I just got to sit down on that one because you're playing Mostert against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
The worst defense in debatably NFL history, they said. You're definitely playing Raheem.
Yes, sir. What do we got next? Titans and the Texans. No,
Last
4 o'clock.
More 1 o'clock game. Got the Patriots at the Jets. A good divisional matchup here.
Yes. 5-2 Jets team. Who would have thought? Yeah. New York is football town right now. So it's in the Meadowlands. I like the Patriots to bounce back just because you're not going to count out Belichick and
who's the quarterback this week though? That's the question. That's the question. Who's going to be the quarterback this week?
It's gonna be the Alabama boy. It's gonna be Mac if he's healthy and ready to go.
And if so, I think you like the start of Jacoby Myers at the receiver position. He's been pretty solid. Ramondre Stevenson has found a way to kind of keep Damian Harris off, and I think he's taken over that head running back spot now for the Patriots backfield.
Yeah, it looks like that Monday night. We don't know if Harris might still be, have a lingering issue or a little injured, but
yeah.
I hope it's Ramondre Stevenson season because he's been really good for fantasy owners.
Yeah, for the Jets, you got to start Michael Carter as, the new starting running back for the New York Jets. But besides that, you really don't like your other options there. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm starting James Robinson yet. It's a really short week for him. He just got there. I would be cautious on that. And then the receivers for the Jets have been pretty much non-existent.
Yeah, it's been weird ever since Zach Wilson came back. It's been no Garrett Wilson. We've seen some Braxton Berrios. I think Corey Davis got injured.
Yep.
No Elijah Moore didn't even suit up. So it's been tough sledding there for the Jets receivers and the quarterback.
Interesting that they're 5-2 somehow. They've really been running the ball well. But like you said, Patriots could rebound this week. It might be a good defensive start for some teams. They could force a lot of turnovers this week.
But the Jets defense is good, so they're going to keep the Patriots to like 20 points, So we'll see if the Patriots D shows up.
Start the kicker. 4 p.m. slate. You got the Titans at the Texans.
Ugly.
Man, ugly. Ryan Tannehill has been killing me as a quarterback in my 2-quarterback league. Not even worth a start right now for me. I am starting a running back at the super flex spot because Ryan Tannehill has been so bad. You love Derrick Henry for the Titans, but that is absolutely it. They've had no receiving option. Robert Woods does not look like the LA Robert Woods.
Zero fantasy appeal. You can't start any receiver. Like you said, you can barely start Tannehill in a 2 QB super flex league. Yeah. So you're starting Derrick Henry, and then the Texans, you're probably starting Pierce again, just because he's been their horse. But outside of Brandon Cooks, you're it.
And Brandon Cooks is still questionable as far as if you want to start him. He hasn't been great. Right now they're taking in trade offers. So to me, that means they're going to target him a lot more so he can look better to get traded. But last week, didn't really give you the greatest performance after the bye, unfortunately. So I would give Brandon Cooks one more start. This would be like one more try at the flex spot for me. Yeah,
like you said, there's been some teams calling around about him. So that guy's been traded more than 3-4 times, I think.
Yeah. What a talent, though. It's crazy. All these teams want him.
He's great. I mean, he's a good receiver.
Yeah. Giants at the Seahawks. I'm actually excited for this game. I think I'm looking for Geno to rebound. DK should not be playing. You never know. The guy's a monster. So you got to love Tyler Lockett here.
Yeah, definitely like Tyler Lockett. And K9 Kenneth Walker has been electric ever since Penny went down. He's been probably a top 5 running back since he's been down. And then he's probably a top 10 running back moving forward. Right?
Yeah. He's dominating the backfield carries. He looks like an every down back, which he was at MSU. Pete Carroll's got to love this acquisition from with K9. The Giants, you're starting Saquon, starting Daniel Jones because you got some quarterbacks on bye this week.
Yeah, you start Daniel Jones with the legs. I mean, he can.
The legs, yeah.
He's a good fantasy quarterback. I don't know if he's a good NFL quarterback yet. It's still it's his 4th year, I think. And I still don't know. I was first really high on Daniel Jones, like, oh, this guy can be good. And then I was like, no, this guy is not good. And then you see the flashes again, and you're like, wait, is this guy good again?
Yeah, and he
I
has
really
no
don't know.
receiving options, and the Giants are off to a good start. So then it makes you think he has to be good, right?
Well, Saquon's been great. But no, Daniel Jones has been playing some really good football.
Are any of the receivers an option this week for the Giants?
Maybe Warndale Robinson.
Yeah.
I really like what I've seen the last 2 games out of him, so I think Robinson could be a start. Seahawks do have a better secondary, I think, than they've had in the past 3 years. So don't let that get in the way. But I do like Warndale Robinson if you're really thin right now.
Commanders at the Colts. Battle of the backup quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke, Sam Ehlinger. It's risky. This is a risky game here.
Yeah, you're starting Jonathan Taylor, obviously, and you're probably starting Pittman. But outside of that, for the Colts, I don't think you're starting Pierce again. Because, like you said, we got to see what Ehlinger's got. We got to see who he's going to target. I don't know if you can trust it and get burned. So I'd be very weary on that Colts team besides Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, even Paris Campbell after 2 back-to-back solid weeks, I would still, like you said, proceed with caution. And for the Commanders, I mean, if you have to, I guess you can reach and start Antonio Gibson. It doesn't appear that they've completely removed him from the game plan. They're still keeping him involved on the receiving end, which is good. Brian Robinson is going to be
he's doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson's just doing the dirty work. And then Heineke's gonna fling it. He's gonna throw. He's gonna give Terry McLaurin some chances to go up and win a ball.
Yeah, and he said that, and I think him and Curtis both could be options this week if you're pretty thin at receiver. Got tons of injuries. Got 2 good receivers on bye. It could very well be a chance where you're starting Curtis Samuel this week as well.
Yeah, I got Keenan Allen on bye. Curtis Samuel slides right in.
49ers at the Rams. Good rivalry right here. This is going to be a good one.
McVay doesn't know what to do against Shanahan. The Rams can't get out of their own way. They are coming off the bye.
Yep.
Is Stafford going to be healthy? Is Stafford going to maybe have a performance like he showed last year, or is it going to be the Stafford we've been seeing all year where they can't block for him? He's trying to make a play and he's turning the ball over a lot.
Yeah, Stafford's been a completely different quarterback from last year. He's been the quarterback that a lot of Detroit fans got used to seeing. Good news for the Rams. Van Jefferson is back to practice this week, so he could be coming off of that IR spot pretty soon. And I think if he comes off the IR, he can slide right into the 2 spot because we have not seen a ton from Allen Robinson. But Cooper Kupp is back this week, fantasy owners.
Yeah, rejoice. And then are you starting Darrell Henderson?
Man, that Rams backfield scares me. Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, but I think you would have to start Darrell Henderson because he's getting the goal line touches.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably going to be the guy that scores if they do find the end zone.
49ers, C-Mac, you're starting Deebo Samuel. And I even like the start of Brandon Ayuk this week as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Jalen might follow.
I worry if the Rams maybe get up early and just try to run the ball and control the game, because that's when Ayuk and Kittle's value really go down.
Yeah.
But if they're playing and they're working the run and they're getting play action off that run, they're definitely going to involve Kittle and Ayuk, which is great because if Deebo doesn't play, those guys have to get involved.
Yeah, Kittle finally found the end zone last week, and I think he'll be a start this week as well. He'll probably be a huge proponent in the offensive game plan this week because, like I said, I think Jalen's going to follow a lot this week, so that could leave Kittle open to some catches down the middle. We got Sunday Night Football for the last game on Sunday. The Packers and the Bills. This could be a thrashing.
Yes.
Complete thrashing. I think the Packers are what? 12-point underdog?
It's getting bad for the Packers. I don't know. This might be the type of game that it's been this for the last 3 weeks, though, right? Like, oh, this is the game where they turned around. This is the game where they turn around. Like, they're finally playing some good competition. Yeah. Like, let's see if they can turn it around.
I'm not starting A.J. Dillon. He has
he's done.
Found his way on my bench. I've given him chance after chance. I'm done with it. Aaron Jones hasn't ran the ball well, but he's a big part of the receiving game right now. So he's still a start for you. And if Alan Lazard is going to be healthy this week, I think he's also a great play at the receiving spot. And Robert Tonyan could be a possibility at tight end.
Are you starting Dobbs if Lazard's out?
Yeah, because there's no Randall Cobb either. He's headed to the IR.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think Dobbs the rookie Dobbs is also a play for the Bills.
I think you're starting Singletary. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're starting the boys. I don't know if you're reaching as far as like Isaiah McKenzie.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I don't know if you go that far.
But here's the thing. Like, Gabe Davis might have a huge 2-3 touchdown game, or he might have a dud, and Isaiah McKenzie finds the end zone. Maybe we get a little James Cook action. So I don't know. The Bills could pour on the points here. You gotta love Diggs and Allen coming back though from bye.
And then Monday Night Football, we got a little in-state matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Battle of Ohio.
Battle of Ohio. No Jamar Chase. Gotta love Tyler Boyd. Gotta love T. Higgins this week.
Yeah, and probably Hayden Hurst.
Yep.
As well. He gets a boost, and then Mixon and Burrow are must starts. But does Jamar Chase going down does hurt Burrow a little bit? I feel.
Yeah, he's kind of his security blanket. You know, he's the oh crap, I'm under pressure. What should I do? Jamar's down there somewhere.
Yeah,
but
Mixon might get a boost.
T. Higgins is that good.
I agree. T. Higgins is really good. I'm not sure who's going to kind of come in and fill that void because they're still going to run a lot of 3 receiver sets.
Yep.
That
third receiver is going to be an interesting spot there for them.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Brown side, you're starting Chubb and Amari Cooper. I got to start DPJ this week just because I'm that thin. I'm that thin.
Yeah, I'm also starting DPJ. I mean, he's been giving you 8 fantasy points the last 3 weeks, so
yeah,
just hoping he finds the end zone this week. But yeah, I'm thin at receiver. We got injuries, we got bye weeks. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Cass Tech, you know, Detroit guy. I'm gonna start him. Hopefully, it pays off for me.
No, I'm with you right there. Just because Keenan on by DK probably not gonna play. DPJ comes right in. So we'll see. Like you said, he's got a solid floor. We'll see if he can find the end zone.
Yes, 100%, man. And the cleats of the week.
Yes, sir.
Your boy Najee Harris. You know, he didn't win, but the cleats looked good. Shout out to Muhammad Ali, RIP. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Those cleats were hard.
I agree. I'm with you there. Those things were sweet. And
guys, good news for David. He finally won. You finally won the survival matchup.
Bad week.
A nasty week, though. Yeah. Neither of us got past 70 points. Very tough week. Quarterback play. Quarterback play is the name of the game, and both quarterbacks for us stunk.
Yeah. 2 good quarterbacks. I think it's the 2 quarterbacks playing tonight, right? Brady and Lamar. So yeah, it was a tough game for both of us, but squeaked out a win. It's 2-1, 1-2 on my end, but
we're back
I get another win this week. We're back to even, Myron. Oh, it's on.
Nah, yeah, we can't let it get back even. We got to go ahead and separate the gap here. So let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off, man. Quarterback play. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna go ahead and start Josh Allen.
Damn,
Sunday Night Football.
Green
Bay Packers off of a bye. Let's go ahead and get Josh Allen. I need to separate this gap.
Yeah, no, I like that. So I'm gonna shift a little bit. I'm gonna get the running back because you've already got your quarterback, and I can probably wait on that. So give me Dalvin Cook. I don't think I've taken him. I'm gonna go Dalvin Cook against Arizona. I think you have a good game.
I just gotta rub this in your face for a second. Isn't it bad I picked Breece Hall and you don't get a chance to use him? That's tough.
That is tough.
That's tough. I just had to make sure you understood that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's tough. Injuries, man. Gotta hate them. So you're going with Dalvin Cook this week. That's a good spot. I do like that. Running backs, I do have faith in the Raiders this week. So
Big Baby Jacobs.
Let's go ahead and go Big Baby Jacobs. You know, the best running back in football right now.
As we've said, I can't follow you on this pick. So I'm gonna go a little off the board here. I'm trying to go for. I see that. I'm trying to go for value here, because I like his stock. Monday night, Tyler Boyd. I think if there was a spot to use him, I think it's right now.
It's a very good spot. Yeah, man. No Jamar Chase this week. That is a solid spot. I like that. I'm gonna kind of stay on the same angle what you got there as a receiver stepping up big because his coworker isn't here. I'm gonna go with Tyler Lockett out of Seattle.
I do like that pick. Ooh. Okay, we're playing today.
Yeah. I gotta.
I love it.
We're going for gold here.
So we've been talking about him all episode. I have to do it to you, Raheem Mostert.
That's messed up.
At the flex.
That's actually messed up.
At the flex.
Damn.
He's so fast. If he can just break one, house.
Oh, man. Tight end, man. The thinnest position in football. It is getting thinner by day. And every time we use a tight end, it's really getting hard. Kyle Pitts burnt me. I can't mess with that cat anymore or any struggling offense right now. So I think I'm going to have to go ahead and go with George Kittle. I'm scared of these. I'm scared of the offenses. You used George Kittle last week. He gave you 18.8 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can show me some love.
No, he did have a nice game. So I'm going to hit my tight end up. And I know you mentioned Van Jefferson coming back. I don't know if they're gonna, play him his full snaps or kind of ease him into the game. So I like Tyler Higbee this week. I think Higbee's a good option. I think Stafford is looking for Cup number one, and that's probably Higbee. So give me Higbee.
I like that pick. I'm gonna wrap it up at the flex spot. You got Tyler Boyd. So I'm gonna go with T. Higgins.
You got Tyler Lockett too.
Yes, I'm gonna go with T. Higgins at the flex.
So that also kind of leads into my next pick because you know where I'm going with this one. I'm taking Joe Burrow. Like I was gonna take him anyway, and I think that just helps me even more. So thank you, Myron. That was very nice of you to do that. Quarterback play is the name of the game, and Joe Shiesty's one of the best.
But this is gonna be a really good one. I think both teams should at least score over 70 points after the horrendous week we had last week. But I'm trying to go ahead and get to 3-1 here. We can't lose back-to-back weeks.
No, I need to get a win, but I will sacrifice a win in this for my main league. So if I have to pay that price, I will. But if not, give me a dub in this. Let's go 2-2. We got a good rest of the season. Like we said, halfway point. So
it's real, guys.
It's the witching hour.
Yeah, it is. It is the witching hour. Trade deadlines for fantasy leagues are probably 3 to 4 weeks away. So no, week 8's important.
Yeah, witching hour might be like week 9 or 10 because I think trade deadline's probably around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I think mine's week 13 for me.
Yeah, so we're getting there, man.
But the trade deadline for NFL is actually approaching. So
yeah, that's Tuesday.
So those moves we've been talking about, the Brandon Cooks, Chase Claypool's been getting phone calls for the Steelers. Just keep an eye out because it could be a very busy week.
Is Kamara going to be on the move?
It could be a very busy week over the next couple of days, even by the time this episode drops. But all we know is we'll see you all next week for week 9 for sure.
Thank you for stopping by.